Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We're back once again talking about the LCS offseason. The latest and greatest news, rumors, speculation, all that good stuff going on in the professional League of Legends scene. Today, more specifically, we're talking about Team Dignitas, their situation surrounding their potential AD carry, support. They have a lot of craziness going on with their roster. We're going to be running through some of the latest updates, rumors, all that stuff today. Before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It's fast, it's free, it's easy. Helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content, and it helps me out a ton as well. I would appreciate it greatly. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers for the end of the year, so that would be awesome. We're getting close. We're on our way there, but, you know, do your part. Help me out. Again, I would appreciate it a ton. With that being said, here we go. Apple had tweeted this out earlier today. This was actually from this morning. I checked it out, but I've had kind of a busy day. It's been a crazy one. He said, this is the newest update from the Aphromoo situation, that maybe Aphromoo is not officially retiring yet, but he's considering it. So he says, if Aphromoo does decide to retire, it looks like Zeyzal will be the starting support for Dignitas. The rumor is that if Zeyzal becomes a starter, that Hakuho will become the new academy support. Otherwise, Zeyzal is just going to be chilling in Dignitas Academy. And then if Aphromoo chooses to stay, it'll be Aphromoo on the main team, Zeyzal in Academy, obviously. And a lot of the fuzz is currently surrounding the AD carry position with Dignitas. He has heard that Dignitas was interested in Cody Sun, but it's possible that Aphromoo wasn't happy with that. Now, I thought this was really, really interesting for a couple of reasons. Obviously, this takes us back to the 100 Thieves days where reportedly Cody Sun and Prolly weren't really getting along. Maybe even Cody Sun and Aphromoo weren't getting along. So when 100 Thieves went to Worlds, they didn't bring Cody Sun with. It was this crazy whole situation where I don't know, in my opinion, I thought Cody Sun came out looking like he was in the right in all of it, because 100 Thieves performed way worse without him, and 100 Thieves was never the same once they got rid of him. And I've always thought Cody was a good, solid, up-and-coming player. And obviously, he's never been like amazing. He's never been like the best support in the league or anything like that, but he's been very worthy of a starting position. He's been on decent teams. He's never been on like absolutely terrible teams when he's been the starting AD carry. So I was, you know, I kind of sided with Cody in that situation, and to see it coming up again is pretty interesting, because obviously Dignitas, their other option at AD carry is Neo right now, who is formerly Asta, and I'm not that excited for him. I would much rather have Cody Sun, and just to me, Cody Sun is definitely a top 10 AD carry in North America. He's definitely deserving of an LCS position, and then, you know, Aphromoo may be retiring, maybe not. The rumor is maybe it doesn't have everything to do with Cody Sun. Maybe Cody Sun's part of it. Maybe Aphromoo wouldn't be totally against playing with him, but it does sound like Aphromoo is kind of wanting to see their AD carry situation get figured out first before he commits to coming back either way or not, and I do think that's interesting, kind of like the Doublelift situation where he's waiting to see what's going on with the support before he decides, and then at some point, the team has to make a decision, like, are we going to wait with you forever, or are we just going to move on? I mean, if I was deciding between Cody Sun and Aphro, like, I would rather have Cody Sun at this point, just because right now, this year doesn't really matter much for Dignitas. Dignitas is going to suck this year. They're going to be towards the bottom of the LCS, you have to imagine. So, I'm looking towards the future. In 1, 2, 3 years from now, I would rather have Cody Sun than Aphromoo. I'm going to assume that in the next 2-3 years, Aphromoo is either going to be not very good or out of the league completely. Cody Sun could also be bad and out of the league completely, but I think there's more scenarios in which Cody Sun is at least a serviceable player in 2-3 years from now than Aphromoo is, or even still playing competitive League of Legends if Aphromoo is already considering retirement now. And I'm a team that's in a complete rebuild. What do I need Aphromoo for? Especially when he had an okay year last year, but he didn't have an amazing year. It's not like he's going to carry us, win any huge games or anything like that. It's not like we're going to surprise people with Aphromoo at support. And yeah, I think this would be good for them to pick up Cody. I think Cody would be a big pickup for this team. Again, he's not going to carry them. It's not like if they get Cody Sun, they're going to be making playoffs or anything. But Cody Sun, with some other young players around them, they can build up, and then 2 years from now, this could potentially be a playoff team if some of these prospects work out, if this team continues to build and play up. Another thing here is that people are saying maybe Dignitas doesn't have the money to afford both Aphromoo and Cody Sun. I know Cody Sun doesn't demand a huge salary, but obviously Dignitas isn't looking to spend much money. They're looking to spend close to the league minimum on most of their players. And Aphromoo actually probably has a decent sized salary. He's been a big name and a veteran for a long time. So yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of crazy stuff going on in this situation. If Cody Sun doesn't end up with Dignitas, the only other rumor that I and other people have heard is maybe TSM Academy for Cody Sun, which again, I think would be another solid situation there for him. If Lost does kind of shit the bed or is not able to pan out, Cody Sun could be a very serviceable starting AD carry for TSM. And if not, he just needs to develop a little bit more in Academy. He needs to prove himself. Then I'm sure he can work his way back into an LCS spot. But obviously, if he doesn't do well in the academy, then he's going to be out of the league very soon. He's in that tough position where you got to start performing, you got to start putting up numbers, you got to start showing your worth and value to teams, especially as we start to get all these oceanic imports coming in, because they're going to be taking people's spots, because the OPL had some very, very talented positions. There's now more players available to the LCS. So that's why we're seeing a lot of these guys shoved out. Also, there's young up-and-coming talent that's kicking people out of the league all the time as well. So Cody's in a weird situation. Afro's in a weird situation. It's just kind of interesting that they have this old drama and beef maybe potentially coming back up, coming full circle from their 100 Thieves days, and maybe they still don't really get along. Maybe Aphromoo still really wouldn't want to play with them. Or there's also the possibility that Aphromoo is just considering retirement, has nothing to do with Cody Sun at all. But there is that speculation going on and stuff right now, and I do think that is pretty interesting. And I thought I wanted to talk about it a little bit because, yeah, Cody Sun does not have a job still at this point. There's a couple of teams interested in him, a couple of teams talking to him. But Dignitas could get him as their starting AD carry, and to me, that would be much better than picking up Asta. To me, it would be much better than Evil Geniuses getting Deathly. So yeah, like if those type of players are landing starting spots in LCS, like Cody should be on a team, in my opinion. But that's what I think. That's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What would you do? Would you go after Cody Sun? Would you keep Aphromoo happy? Would you get the AD carry he wants? Would you say, okay, Aphro, whatever, you need to retire, bro? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save down my latest content. Check me out over at Twitch, twitch.tv/I_am_germ. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.